Disclaimer: This episode discusses suicidal ideations and extreme content that may be triggering to some. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to 8158 Stories of Sacrifice. In part one of Kaegan's episode, he walked us through the early years, loss, burnout, and the trauma that began to build in silence. In part two, we pick up where things took a darker turn: a 15-year-old suicide call, panic attacks, and a moment where he nearly ended his own life. But this half of the story is also where the light starts breaking through. From EMDR therapy to marriage, fatherhood, and landing a fire department job, Kaegan opens up about rebuilding from rock bottom. He also shares one of the most chilling moments of his career: being shot at while responding to a call. This episode is about survival, strength, and the impact that real leadership, or the lack of it, can have on a first responder's mental health. This is Kaegan's story, part two.
You're listening to 8158 Stories of Sacrifice, where we honor the bravery of the first responders and the families who stand behind them. Real people, real stories, real heroes. This is 8158. So, moving on, after a severe panic attack, you had begun to focus on trauma therapy and EMDR. So, what changed when you finally had support that understood your first responder trauma?
So, that panic attack, I stopped drinking after that. I stopped drinking before I went to therapy. It kind of that was my choice, and the very start of I need to get better. But going to therapy, and my therapist, she's absolutely amazing. She she under she understands a lot more than other therapists, I would say. I mean, I haven't been to another therapist, but I've heard horror stories of other responders going and trying to get help, and they just go through therapist after therapist after therapist after therapist, treatment after treatment, and just no one understands. So after I started the EMDR, it definitely helped relax me. I definitely felt more relaxed, especially at home. More relaxed at home. I felt like I didn't have so much tension building up. I was able to sleep better. Definitely able to sleep better. Now, I do want to say EMDR is a very, very unpleasant treatment. I mean, in order for it to work, you have to focus on what physical stimulation that you are being provided. You got to focus on that, but at the same time, it's important to relive, I mean, your worst nightmares. It's rough,
Right.
but definitely worth it for me, at least. I did a couple sessions, felt a lot better, and then we took a break from them, and I actually haven't done them since I started therapy. I was very hesitant to do it. I think I'd gone through, probably had 3 or 4 sessions, and I was going monthly. And then we had a couple sessions, and then finally my therapist was kind of like, no, you need this, like, just do it. And um, her telling me that she's also pretty blunt when she needs to be, which
Yeah.
I think all first responders need. They need a kick in the ass sometimes, and a push off that ledge to something much better, which I appreciate because I definitely needed that. So going through the treatments, went through a couple treatments, and it worked. And then after that, just being able to talk about my experiences and not feel like I'm judged, not feel like I'm less of a person. She understood a lot of the trauma she worked out off the reservation in our area and saw some pretty gruesome things as well. So she could really relate. And I actually found myself not talking about work, not talking about my traumas. I started talking about problems in my life. We kind of switched from a work to a personal area where, oh, this is going on in my life, or oh, I'm having trouble with this. Started getting kind of down into my ADHD and better ways to cope with that. I mean, it was a very fresh feeling, fresh breath of air. The trauma was still there. I mean, I still had my rough nights, my rough days. I won't downplay that. It didn't fix me. But it wasn't putting a band-aid on a arterial bleed. It was slowly stitching up the wounds and the trauma, and slowly getting better. I mean, my best analogy would be um, a traumatic injury. I mean, you cut your leg off, and you got to go in and you got to stop the bleeding. That's what the first sessions were, and then the EMDR was getting it all stitched up and taking that, what they would call phantom pain, away. And then the sessions afterwards would be basically getting that prosthetic leg and learning how to live with it again, and learning how to walk again, and learning how to run again, and learning how to navigate life with this new feeling, this new this new tool that you have. I think that would be the best description that I could have for that. So absolutely amazing, and I don't think every first responder needs to go to therapy, but I think every first responder seriously needs to consider therapy and consider or actually I should restate that. I think every first responder should really go to therapy. I don't think everyone needs EMDR. I mean, my battalion chief, he has done EMDR treatments and didn't work for him. So they switched to another treatment. But he also has someone who can understand and works well with him. And it goes for everyone. I mean, EMDR is not for everyone, but just being able to talk to someone who won't judge you, won't make you feel like less of a person, is absolutely just a turning point. I actually just watched your podcast. I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the veterans who was a vet who been in the service for a long time, seen combat, and then went to become a police officer. Was a police officer and started the Healing the Heroes Foundation. and I'm actually super curious. I'm
Okay.
thinking about reaching out and maybe trying that and seeing what they got.
Okay. So you want us to get you in touch with Dan?
I looked up I after that podcast I actually looked it all up and
Okay.
just kind of hesitant to send the email, but really thinking about doing that. Just I want to experience what others do,
Yeah.
so that I can maybe say, hey, from experience, this really helps and really works.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but
I've been doing sessions with him. My second one is Friday. So
yeah, so I'm super curious, and I hope you, after you've done a few sessions, you're able to talk about it a little bit on your future podcasts and all that, and
yeah.
get the word out there a little more. But I definitely want to be someone who can recommend and say, hey, it works, or hey, it's another tool in that tool belt or toolbox. So it super awesome. But like I said, every first responder needs therapy. But definitely the treatments need to be geared towards the individuals.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think you'll find it interesting, and it could be beneficial and helpful for you in the long run. Um, so Dan's a pretty good guy. Um, and he seems to know what he's doing. So, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he's pretty awesome. I like him.
Yeah. I mean, that podcast was, or that was a good one. I
Good.
really enjoyed it.
Glad you like that one. Yeah, just keep looking him up, or you could schedule whenever you're ready. Schedule with him through his website, and it's for free. So they'll get you in there,
Yep.
and they'll run your tests and see how high your scores are, and so they have a better idea of how to help you.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's pretty awesome. Um, so you're balancing work, school, marriage, and becoming a dad, all while navigating trauma. Um, what was holding you together during that time?
My wife,
Your wife?
100% my wife. She's not a patient person, but she's been patient with me.
Wow.
Um, she's also not afraid to tell me when I'm being an asshole, when I'm just not doing well. Um, Along with therapy, I mean, she definitely she waltzed right in my life and kind of stuck with me and kept me grounded. Um, but definitely not an easy time. I mean, I got married, so we've been together for about a year. Um, got married, and 2 weeks later, I started paramedic class. And about a month later, um, she got pregnant. So we'd, I mean, it was, and I was still working on the ambulance. So, I mean, I was still working this crazy schedule. I wasn't home. I was home some nights, but it was like come home, maybe eat dinner, maybe. I bring home some takeout or something if she hadn't already eaten, and then we'd go to bed. So with her being pregnant, that definitely helped. Give me something to look forward to when something other than completing my medic class. Um, to look forward to, looking forward to welcoming our son, and something that I felt I could really enjoy outside of all of my work and all of the trauma, and made me want to do better, and made me want to do the best I could. So it was definitely a very, very long year. And it got even longer. So she was pregnant for a good portion of the medic class, but by the time our son was born, by the time our son was born, I was in the final stages of my medic class, and probably one of the hardest parts of the medic class, just because it was tedious. We were done with book work. Our class days consisted of studying, taking tests, going over everything through the class in a span of a couple months, and clinicals. I still had to do a bunch of hospital days. I had to do a bunch of ride times where I was practicing as the paramedic with my preceptor just looking over my shoulder. So it was a very hard, tedious time. Everyone goes through medic class, and if you tell me that you didn't think about dropping out once, you're lying to me. But the last 2 weeks of medic class were the hardest because we were so close to graduation. I had just found out that I was going to have to extend my medic class about a month, and I didn't want to drop out more than I'd ever had. And it was like, oh, but having my son there, I mean, I'd come home and my son, he's always been a happy kid. Right out of the womb, he was a happy kid.
Yeah.
So seeing him definitely helped push me through that. My wife helped push me through that. But definitely a great time, and a time I don't want to go back to, but at the same time I miss.
Right.
So I gotta hold my or when I got my class certification, I got to take a picture with my wife and my kid in my arms, and it looking back at it now, it makes it all worth it.
Right. It's pretty awesome. Well earned. Hard work.
Oh yeah,
Well earned.
it definitely was hard work.
Yeah.
And I will say it. I definitely earned it through blood and sweat.
I bet.
So,
so you'd mentioned that you had another critical incident, and plus leadership again. You'd only just started your new fire department when you were shot at on shift. After something like that, something traumatic, your battalion chief told you to go home. What should you have happened instead? What should have happened in that situation?
so I don't think anything different should have happened. I think it was handled extremely appropriately. So, and I'll walk you through that day too. I mean,
Mhm.
I just started full time at the fire department that I'm with now. We're running calls. It's our second day on shift. A little busier than normal. Nothing crazy. I mean, bounce from call to call. It's actually funny. So we got called for vomiting blood. The call prior to this. So we get there, we treat the patient, get him shipped off, and then as we're getting back in the truck, we just finished cleaning our gear. We get called for another call for vomiting blood. We're like, man, is it going to be a pattern today?
Mm-hmm.
So we go and we're just cruising. Came out as a critical call, but we were still cruising. I mean, we're in residential areas. We got like three main roads in our district, so we try not to run lights and sirens if we don't have to. And it wasn't more than a mile away with light traffic, so we were able to get there, showed up, and immediately I'm like, oh, this guy. I recognize the house. Now this gentleman, I've had run-ins with him before. Kind of a pain in the butt. Rude, but so we get there and I'm like, you probably just not feeling well and wants to go to the hospital. Or he wants us to grab his TV remote. We ran on him, called 911, we checked him out, and he's like, hey, can you hand me my TV remote? That was across the room. Not a big deal. So we get there and I got all the stuff and we're walking up to the house. And I can see that his front door is open. He's got a security screen. So we announce ourselves and open up the door, and I step in, and he's sitting in the chair that we usually find him in, holding a rifle. And my captain from behind me, he goes, what's up with the rifle? I was like, remember that. And then I asked him, and I'm like, hey, can you put the rifle down so I can come treat you? He had 2 handguns next to him as well. One was loaded. I could tell one was loaded, one wasn't. And just, I didn't think too much of it at the time. I'm in Arizona. Everyone has guns. It's not uncommon for me to walk in the house and there's a gun 10 feet from the patient. Right. It just kind of how it is half the time. Now, no one's ever been holding a rifle when I walked in, but so at the time I didn't have a whole lot of alarm bells going off. Okay. But we asked him to put it down, and he said no. And I said, okay, well, I can't treat you until you put it down, and started to back out of the residence. Now, I'd only taken about a step, 2 steps into this house. My captain hadn't even taken a step into the house, and he pointed it at me. And that's when I was like, crap. Didn't panic. All I thought to myself was, damn it, it's one of those days. So I step out of the house. I get out of his line of sight when he started shooting. Shot 7 times. And the first couple ones, I walked. I didn't run. I didn't hustle. I just walked until the volley kept going off. He shot 7 or 8 times. And probably about halfway through the volley, I was like, okay, I should probably drop. And I had all the equipment. I think my partner had the airway bag or something like that. The airway bag, and I even had our tablet slung across my shoulder. And so I dropped everything and hopped the fence. It was like a 4-foot fence. I cleared that thing. I didn't even touch it. And there was a car just outside of the fence that I slid over the hood. I felt kind of cool at that time. Hollywood slid over the hood. And my partner's on the radio with shots fired, and dispatch is just not understanding what's going on. So that's raising the tension of the situation. And I'm like crouched down behind this car. And my partner's trying to run down the street, but he stops. And I poke my head over the car, and he's like, come on, let's go. And I said, okay. So we kept running down the street. Made it about a block down the street into a lot that we were able to beeline and get onto the other street. And from there, we waited for PD to show up and all that. A guy was taken into custody after a standoff. So, but after that, we got back to the station and we debriefed, talked to the detectives, and then debriefed. And then, well, while we were talking to detectives, we'd gone in one at a time. My battalion chief had been like, or had told us that we were going home. That we were going home for the rest of the shift. Our wife showed up, and all that. So I think probably the only thing else that should have happened was my battalion chief should have also gone home.
Yeah.
Because it affected him just as much as it affected us. But he's more stubborn than I am. But he is absolutely one of the best leaders that I have ever had. He cares for us deeply, looks after us like he would look after his own children. So, I mean, bottom line, I think it was handled very, very well. We had guys didn't even get phone calls. They just saw the call go out and saw the updated notes, and they came to the station. I mean, we had half the station off duty, or of our off duty guys show up.
Oh wow.
So, just the brotherhood that we have was absolutely amazing. But definitely a time I don't want to reenact, but definitely I do want to say it's definitely an eye opener for this job. I mean, I've been threatened. I've been in fights with patients. The closest I've come to real physical injury was a diabetic patient who tried to reach for a knife. Their blood sugar was low. They were out of it. They didn't know what was going on. Couldn't blame the guy. But
We will return after this quick ad break.
The William H. Bill Butler Jr. Foundation is on a mission to honor first responders and support those who serve. We provide scholarships for families who have lost a hero in the line of duty, offer second chances to juvenile offenders who are working to rebuild their future, and help new recruits pursuing careers as first responders. Through generous donations and the sale of merchandise, we're building a community that uplifts, empowers, and creates lasting impact. You can be a part of this mission as well. Visit 8158podcast.com to donate or shop today. Together, we can support those who serve, honor those we've lost, and give hope to those who need it most. Behind every badge is a story, and behind every story is a sacrifice. This is the 8158 podcast, where we honor the lives and legacies of first responders and their families. If our mission speaks to your heart, if these stories move you like they move us, join us on Patreon. For just $5 a month, you'll get ad-free listening, exclusive merchandise, behind-the-scenes content, and video episodes only available to our patrons. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement, and you can be a part of it. Support us at patreon.com/8158podcast. Let's continue to share the stories that deserve to be heard.
other than that, definitely an eye opener that this job is getting more and more dangerous. But I do want to say, so when I worked on the ambulance, I wore a bulletproof vest. Worked every call. Put it on when I got on shift, took it off when I got off shift. And the vest actually broke going into, or when I went to the fire department.
Mhm.
And 3 shifts without wearing that vest, I get shot at. And I'd always got razzed by like the fire department's like, oh, you're wearing a vest and this, that, and the other, because it was pretty uncommon. It's still uncommon out here. But they always joked, as soon as you take that vest off, you're going to get shot.
Right.
And lo and behold, it almost happened.
Jeez.
So yeah, um, it's good. Another bright side to this event is my captain. He started going to therapy as well, and I don't I don't know if he's had anything real crazy like this happen. I mean, he's a veteran. Um, he didn't get deployed to like Afghanistan or Iraq, but definitely definitely seen his fair share um of crap being a veteran, and then he's been in the job for a few years. I think he's going on 6 or 7 years, something like that. And he's ran just as many traumatic calls that I've ran. So um he he after that he started going to therapy, and I really think that it's helped him. So
Awesome. Yeah, maybe that was his breaking point to where he said I had enough getting shot at.
yeah, it might have been, but um, he'd also he also has a kiddo that's actually like 2 months older than my kid, so
Oh,
that rattled him too.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and at this time, I think his kiddo was 8 months, mine was 6 months old. So
Yeah, that's something to think about.
yeah, and then on top of that, so the guy was arrested, so we had to testify and we had to keep reliving this trauma for the next year before he was finally sentenced.
Oh, jeez.
So that wasn't fun, but he was sentenced. And I mean, guys like 66, 67. He got sentenced for almost 20 years. Took a
Well,
plea deal. So
yeah, I imagine he won't be getting out anytime soon.
yeah, and our judge was he's a very fair judge, and even with like, oh, I wasn't in my right mind and all that he tried to testify and say, the judge is like, nope, you're gone. I'm giving you the max.
Right.
So
Well, I'm glad the judge did his job.
yeah, me too. Me too.
So, Arizona has a work comp for mental health, which is a rare and powerful resource. Uh, has that support changed things for you now compared to your earlier experiences?
Um, I wouldn't say it's necessarily changed things for me. I mean, I started going through the um going to therapy before I learned that Arizona, like for fire departments at least, and fire and police, that you can actually make or workers comp claim for
Yeah.
for mental health for PTSI. Um, but it definitely opened my eyes up, and it's given me a lot of hope for the future. We have what's called the Tiger Act, and you
Okay.
can enact it at any point, for any traumatic event. You can enact the Tiger Act, and it's the state pays for 12 sessions, minimum 12 sessions, and then your therapist can say you need more or not, and it's for every traumatic event.
Oh,
So,
geez.
I mean, I could run a traumatic event tomorrow and enact that. And then immediately after I'm done with my 12 sessions, I could run another traumatic event and enact the Tiger Act. It's really, I don't think it's utilized as much. And the process kind of sucks. I mean, you still got to go through workers' comp. And um, I had to go through, when I went through workers' comp, they wanted me to go get just evaluated physically or physically evaluated by a primary care doctor, which was an absolutely horrible experience. I was, again, basically told I'm less of a person. I guess this nurse practitioner, she'd been a paramedic out in New York for X amount of time. And she's like, why are you guys even doing this? Like, don't you guys just have got people you can talk to at the station? That's what we did. And I had told her, and that's why your generation is killing themselves, because this help wasn't offered and it's expected for you to just buck up and just deal with it. I walked out before my exam was over. And I mean, and my vitals alone showed that I was having increased anxiety. I mean, my resting heart rate was like 110, 120. My blood pressure was like 160 over 100.
Oh, Jesus.
Which my blood pressure is a little high. I should definitely be trying to maintain that, but I've never seen it over like 140 systolic. My resting heart rate usually sits in the 60s. I mean, I'm a pretty healthy guy.
Yeah.
But at that time, like, you could tell that just by looking at me, I wasn't doing well. I was drinking a Monster at the time, and she tried to blame it on the Monster. And at that time, I'd had a Monster every morning, like clockwork. Every morning, wake up, crack a Monster. So my appointment was in the morning. So I woke up, got ready for my appointment, cracked my Monster, and went to my appointment. She tried to blame it on the Monster. I know it wasn't the Monster.
Right.
And I'm sure any other first responder, blue collar worker, or anyone knows that you have a Monster in the morning, energy drink in the morning, it doesn't make you feel any worse than how it does. Like, they don't affect you like that.
Right.
So the doctor's appointment was definitely not a good time, but I was fortunate enough to already have a therapist, so I just saw her. But it's definitely a step in the right direction out here and in this field to be able to make that workers' comp claim and go and seek help.
Right.
So
yeah, it's definitely important to seek help, and not just help, but the proper kind of help,
mm-hmm.
and not go to a doctor that's going to spike your blood pressure and your heart rate. Not one that's going to piss you off.
Yeah. I was about to burst a vein after she told me that.
I imagine. So now, in reflection and moving forward, you've seen what good leadership can do and what bad leadership can destroy. What advice would you give to current supervisors and new officers about how to show up for their people?
The best advice I can give them is just really show up. I mean, genuinely care about your people. You can't do this job without your crew. I mean, my captain can't run a truck by himself. My battalion chief can't run a shift without his crew. Recognize that we're all humans. We're all going to feel some sort of way after whatever call. It doesn't matter if it's that pediatric cardiac arrest that your crew just ran, or if it's that 80-year-old who has had a good life. If it's affecting them, you need to reach out. Don't be afraid to stand up to your supervisors. Don't be afraid to be that change. And don't be afraid to be honest and and strict with your subordinates. Don't be afraid to tell them, hey, you need help. Don't you just need to reach out, and you need to show them that you're present, that you care for them, that you have their best interest at heart. I'm not saying you need to bend over backwards and pay for their therapy sessions, but definitely be there and be an open ear.
Right.
If something seems off, say something. Talk to them. And don't forget where you came from. We all started at the bottom.
Yep.
I mean, my battalion chief, he started running in a little district who really didn't have a whole lot of help for mental health, and ran some pretty crazy calls, and now he's a huge advocate for mental health. And I mean, he's a great battalion chief, and he hasn't forgotten where he comes from. And I think that is one of the biggest things. I think supervisors, once they get put behind a desk, whether it be a chief or a supervisor at whatever company you're working for, they forgot where they came from. So don't forget where you come from, and be present for your guys. Be willing to talk to them.
Absolutely.
Be willing to help them.
Yeah. Good leadership is everything.
Absolutely. It can make or break your career, truthfully.
Yeah. Definitely. So you've come a long way. You stopped drinking. You had a better work-life balance, and you are going back to therapy. What's been the biggest change in you over the last year and a half?
Biggest change is probably being able to come home and feeling at ease. I get to come home and spend time with my wife. I mean, I don't come home every day just dog tired. If I come home and I've had a rough shift or a long shift, I'm able to go take that nap and then wake up and be present for my kid and my wife. It absolutely just has made the home life that much better. And if you don't have a balanced home life, you're not going to have a good work life.
Right.
At least in my experience. Now work is a time to get away from my home life. I get to go have fun with guys that I really enjoy being with. So it's a little break for me, but I still want to come home every day. Want to come home. I want to be present. I want to get on the ground and play cars with my kid, and give my wife a hug and a kiss, and just spend time with them. So that's definitely the biggest thing that has changed is being able to be here, being able to be present.
Yeah, because you have two families to take care of.
Yeah.
Your work family at the station and your family at home.
Yep. I definitely try and make sure my guys are all squared away. I mean, I'm like one of the lowest men on the totem pole, but doesn't matter. You can still step up and talk to your guys.
Right.
But I think being at home is definitely been able to balance my work life and home life. I don't take work home as much anymore.
That's good.
So
Yeah. Leave the work at work and keep the home at home.
yep, I definitely able to do that a lot better.
Yeah. Excuse me. You've got goals, college, maybe moving and starting or working with a nonprofit for first responders. Uh, what would that nonprofit look like, and what do you want it to stand for?
So I actually have no clue what I'd want it to look like, but I know what I want it to stand for. I know I would want it to stand for all the first responders now first responders of the past, first responders of the future. It doesn't matter. I wanted to stand for them, knowing that they are not alone doing this job, that they
Right.
are seen, that they can be heard, that they can feel safe. I want there to be a time where every first responder can have a smile on the face at any given time, can feel safe, can feel at ease. I don't want to see them go home anymore and feel like taking their life is the only option. I want it to be just another big family. Realistically, just another big family that is there to help, there to do what they can
Mhm.
for these individuals without discrimination, it, without judgment. I want everyone to be able to come to what I would like to see and be able to sit down, pour a cup of coffee, and just talk, not be judged, whether it be, oh, this 3 a.m. toe pain really bugged me, or hey, this kid that just shot himself really bugged me.
Right.
Doesn't matter. But definitely want to be able to help and do what I can.
Okay. Have you thought about starting your own organization, or you just want to try to jump in with somebody that has one already started?
I'm not sure. Not sure right now. I mean, I still got a lot of time left in the service. I still got um, a lot more to do. I need to go back to school, um, get some degrees, but maybe for the time being, jump in and try and help out in an organization,
Mhm.
and then maybe from that branch off and create my own or something like that. But only the future knows what'll happen.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. I mean, we started our nonprofit organization, and it's still in the infancy stages, obviously, because we just started it a few months ago. It's a fairly easy process. The
Yeah,
hardest process is getting funding.
yeah, that definitely will be the hardest process. But where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
I've
I mean, we make merchandise and sell the merchandise to go into the foundation, so that's
yeah,
how we're.
yeah, yeah. I definitely need to order some.
Yeah,
So,
that would be
but
helpful. It'll go towards the nonprofits. So.
no, absolutely, absolutely. So, but we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. My wife still finishing up some schooling and all that. Definitely. Um, it seems like she's leaning more towards wanting to do psychology on the trauma side.
Yeah, that's good.
So, but we'll see. I really hope she can be a big part in it too.
Yeah, you might start something together, and you'd probably be an awesome team.
Yeah,
You know, from both of your perspectives.
yeah,
That'd be an
yeah,
asset,
absolutely, absolutely.
huge asset.
Oh yeah. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So in closing, for the EMT or firefighter listening right now, uh, maybe having burnout or struggling, feeling like leadership doesn't care, what do you want them to hear from you?
I'm gonna give you the good old. You're not doing it alone. But I'm also going to tell you that if you're struggling, seek help. The process isn't going to be easy. The healing is going to be even harder. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to open up and to become vulnerable. I mean, we in this job field, we're supposed to be the strong ones. We're supposed to be the ones that are unwavering, but you're human. Just because something affects you doesn't mean you're lesser of a person, of human. Get help. My wife, She's told me time and time again, how do you expect to help someone if you can't help yourself?
Exactly. 100%.
That's a huge, huge thing. And you will be surprised when you start helping yourself. And the whether you thank yourself or you thank whoever's pushed you to it, especially for the new ones, for the ones that have only been doing this job for a little while, you got a long road ahead of you. Long road with canyons and broken bridges and just obstacles that are going to seem impossible to overcome, but reaching out for that help will be the game changer. And sticking with it and going through the process and finding what works for you will be the game changer and will let you have a full career, a career that you can look back on and be extremely proud of. And that's what I want to see everyone looking back on their career and knowing that because they helped themselves, they were able to help so many more.
Yeah, if you're not healthy, you can't help anybody else. And self-care is very important.
Yep.
It's not
Self-care is extremely important.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not selfishness. It's necessary.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And go golfing, go shooting, go do whatever menial, tedious, or extravagant hobby you have, make time for it.
Exactly. Yeah, always make time for the things that you love. Don't miss out. Live your best life. Do self-care. And don't have any regrets.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And my last question to you right now is what does bouncing back from what you would call failure mean to you now after everything you've lived through?
Bouncing back, I mean, it's basically my motto. I've failed at so much, so many things. I've taken 2 EMT classes, I've taken 2 paramedic classes. I never made it through boot camp. I mean, there's calls that I feel like I failed at. I feel like sometimes there's a lot more failure in my life than there is success, but you just got to bounce back from it because the next day is the next day. One day you might fail at saving the house, but saving a house for the house fire, but the next day maybe you're making that rescue and you're saving someone from that house fire.
Right.
It's keep the perseverance going. You're going to fail. It's inevitable. It's life. We're humans. Failure is inevitable. You can't tell me that you haven't failed at something.
Right.
It's what you do after you fail, and keep going. So
yeah, how do you get back up after you fall?
Sometimes I just gotta brush myself off and start walking again, one foot in front of the other until I can start running again.
Right.
And if you can't stand up, start crawling.
Right.
Just keep moving forward. Just remember that you're moving forward and there's people to help and lives to save.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter how tired you are, you can't quit. Not allowed to quit.
Never quit, never surrender.
Absolutely. Keep moving forward.
Yep. That's pretty awesome. That's all I have for you today. I definitely enjoyed having this conversation and the interview with you. I think you're an awesome person, and
Well, thank
I
you.
like your resilience and your strength. Even with all the pitfalls and everything that's happened, you bounce back and you become a better person.
I definitely try.
I think that's awesome. It's very awesome. And
well, thank you. I enjoyed Yeah, I enjoyed this as well, and really hope that I can reach some people and they get the help they need.
I'm pretty sure they will. I mean, there a lot of stories. You're not alone. A lot of stories are similar to yours, not identical, but in similar circumstances. But there are other people that you can reach, and we get a lot of good feedback saying that it's helped people and it's reached out to people, and it's kind of given them a sense of peace of mind, and it's helped them to kind of overcome a lot of things that are going on in their head, or probably given them the strength and the courage to kind of get help.
Yep, absolutely.
So that's pretty awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Kaegan,
Thank you
and
for having me.
I hope we can have you back on here soon and see where you are in life. Um, yeah, just stay tuned for my therapy sessions with Dan, because after we get done, him and I are going to get back on and talk about it.
Well, I'm excited to hear that story.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing my next session Friday, and then we'll probably have at least 2 more after that.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm excited to hear
So,
about them.
yeah, and then hopefully you get on there and it'll help you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely willing to try.
Yeah, try anything to kind of get over whatever. I
Oh
just
yeah.
I just want to stop taking medication. I don't want to get off the
I hear
pills.
you. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, all right, buddy. I appreciate you being on here. You're awesome. We love you, and we thank you for your
Thank you.
service.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you have a good night and enjoy your family tonight.
All right, you as well.
Thank you, buddy. Good night.
Good night.
All right, everybody. That was Kaegan, EMT, paramedic, and firefighter. Awesome, amazing person. And there's something to learn from his story. Very powerful story. And just listen. Take a moment to listen and take it in, and just sit back and see what he's gone through and how he's come back, and see how he's doing. When life beats you down, you get back up, just like he did, just like I did. Uh, Never give up. There is help. So, with that being said, thank you for joining us on the podcast. Thank you for listening. And we love our followers. We love our first responders. Um, God bless you all. 8158. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us on 8158 Stories of Sacrifice. Every story we share is a tribute to the courage and resilience of first responders and their families. If this episode impacted, encouraged, or inspired you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who supports first responders. Follow us on all social media platforms at 8158 Podcast for updates. 8158 Stories of Sacrifice is a team effort. Rico brings the stories to life through casting, writing, original music, and editing. Brianne Shipley as production manager, handling booking, social media, graphics, promotion, marketing, website management, and logo design. Please visit our website at 8158podcast.com. For questions, collaborations, or to share your story, Our email address is contactus@8158podcast.com. Until next time, let's continue to honor the legacies and remember the sacrifices of those who serve, every brave man and woman on the front lines, protecting and defending us all. This is Rico signing off and honoring 8158.